This is one of those stories, and once you hear it, you may never look at a lonely street the same way again. It was well past midnight. The city was silent, save for the faint hum of distant traffic and the echo of my own footsteps on the cold pavement. The air felt heavy, almost as if the darkness itself was pressing in on me. Every streetlight cast long, eerie shadows, and the world seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something to happen. I'd walked this route 100 times before, but that night something felt wrong. There was a chill in the air that had nothing to do with the weather. My instinct screamed at me that I wasn't alone, that something was watching from just beyond the reach of the light. Ahead, under a flickering street lamp, he stood, tall, thin, perfectly still, as if he'd been waiting for me all along, dressed in old stained clothes that hung from his frame like they belonged to someone else. But it was his face, dear God, that face that froze me in my tracks. It was both human and not, twisted into an expression that defied explanation. A grin stretched too wide, as if his skin strained to contain it, lips pulled back to reveal too many teeth. His eyes were so wide and empty they seemed almost painted on, staring straight through me. There was no warmth, no life in them, just a hollow, endless darkness. He started to move. Slow, unsteady steps, swaying like a puppet cut loose from its strings. Each movement was unnatural, jerky, as if he was learning how to walk for the first time. His smile never faltered. It was as if he was feeding off my fear, growing stronger with every step I took. My heart hammered in my chest as I quickened my pace, praying he'd vanish into the darkness, that this was just a nightmare I'd soon wake from. But he followed. Closer, closer, that grin growing impossibly wider with every step. I could feel his gaze burning into my back, the air thick with dread. I could hear the scrape of his shoes on the pavement, the low, guttural sound rattling from his throat, a sound that didn't belong to any living thing. Panic took over. I ran, feet pounding the pavement, desperate to put as much distance between us as possible. I didn't look back. I just ran, not daring to breathe, until I reached my door, slammed it shut, and locked the world outside. My lungs burned, my hands shook, but I was safe. At least I hoped I was. Even inside, I could feel his presence lingering, as if that smile had followed me home. They say if you see the smiling man once, you'll never walk alone again. The memory of that night will haunt you, making every shadow seem deeper, every silence more sinister. And trust me, some smiles you never forget. They carve themselves into your memory, waiting to surface every time you find yourself alone in the dark. So next time you're out late and you feel a chill run down your spine, remember, the smiling man could be waiting just around the corner.